Hello, this is Coach Lydia Knight, and we are ending eating disorders. And freedom is calm after a meal. So when we're in disordered eating, when we're struggling with food, there's so much mental energy that goes into evaluating and calculating after a meal. So you ate something and there's all the, well, should I eat more? And was that okay? And maybe I should have had something else. And I shouldn't have had seconds, or I should go back and have seconds, or maybe I didn't have enough, or maybe I still have some calories left. There's the morality of, was it right? Was it wrong? What is the way that I ate this meal? How does that inform my next meal that I need to eat? It's the recalculating the calories and the carbs over and over. It's the, beating yourself up of, why didn't I make different choices? It's the, well, maybe I already blew it with this meal, so maybe the rest of the day is just shot. There's so much internal suffering that happens after every single meal, because it's like there was no right answer. It's like, well, I could have eaten this really restrictive meal, but then I would have felt deprived. Or maybe I shouldn't have eaten that meal where, although I didn't feel deprived, but that still felt wrong. Or maybe I should have, stuck to my plan, or maybe I should be flexible with my plan. Like, there's no right answer when it comes to a meal, and then we do it over and over and over. And a beautiful part of freedom is just calm after a meal. It's a non-issue. You make a decision and you eat that meal and you feel great about it because you're doing it from the perspective of a normal eater, because now you're a normal eater. Now you're on the side of freedom. So it's not a big deal, and it's really easy to know what to choose. You're like, oh, I feel physically hungry because now my hunger and fullness signals are back. And now I'm going to eat something that nourishes myself and feels good and feels complete. And it's not something I have to evaluate or look to a rule book to know what it is. It's just of course, it's a non-issue. And then you eat the meal, and then you finish the meal, and it feels finished, and you are satisfied, and you just move on with your life. There's like zero cognitive suffering. There's like zero regret, zero shame, zero guilt, zero beating yourself up, because you're a free person. So that calm after a meal is something that's so fun, because our clients often just notice this happening. They're not like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to feel calm after a meal. They're just moving toward their freedom. And then their freedom happens, and they're like, oh, I used to beat myself up after meals, and I just noticed the absence of that. And that is beautiful freedom. So freedom is calm after a meal. And for your next step to freedom, go to lifewithlydia.com.